what you call next, the nitrogen cycle. Okay, so nitrogen cycle is a biogeochemical process through where the nitrogen will be converted into many forms. Okay, so from passing from the atmosphere to the soil to organism and back to the what you call that, back to the atmosphere, and they involve several processes like nitrogen fixation, nitrification, denitrification, decay, and putrefaction. Putrefaction means that it actually is we call fulan, or we call merepun. Okay, which using microorganism. Now let's see the. So this is how the what you call that, the nitrogen cycle looks like. Huh? Okay, or maybe I can use your textbook one because somehow your textbook one seems a bit maybe your textbook one will be a bit more clear. Wait, let's check. Yeah. So I think your textbook one will be a bit more clear somehow. Okay, so this is the nitrogen cycle in your textbook. Okay, seems a bit more clear. So somehow I will use this one easier. So from okay, we start from atmosphere. Okay, when during the night, during the lightning. Okay, during the lightning, it will undergo the atmospheric nitrogen will undergo a nitrogen fixation through the lightning. Okay, and went into the soil, and some of it will be used up by the fertilizer as well. Okay, to make fertilizer as well, and naturally it will be absorbed by the legume plant. Okay, true. And then with the nitrogen fixation bacteria, which located at the legume root nodules, the legume plant normally are those plants that the fruit are at the root, like your peanuts, maybe. Okay, your potatoes, sweet potatoes, and then your what you call that, halia, ginger. Okay, all this. Carrot, yeah, consider as well. So those nitrogen fixing bacteria will it's like Rhizobium or Azotobacter. Then they will convert the nitrogen into ammonia or ammonium. If Rhizobium is ammonia, Azotobacter is ammonium. Okay, of course, at the same time, that organism and animal waste will be decomposed by the bacteria and fungi and form ammonia and ammonium as well. Then from these two, it forms nitrite. And from nitrite, through Nitrobacter species, become nitrate, which part of the nitrate will use as the nutrient by the plant, and most of it will be how to say, will be not digested. We say break down by the denitrifying bacteria, and the nitrogen gas will be released back into the atmosphere. Okay, so this is how the nitrogen cycle comes out with. Okay, so how Wenhong, can you understand? You guys can understand here? Can I? 不一定 doesn't necessarily the nitrogen come from waste. It's just one of the method can be digested through, can be taken through the waste only. Okay, it's from ammonia and ammonium. Yes, the main item involved, or the main substance involved. Okay, can I? All right, now let's come back to our our books. So let's see through the nitrogen fixation, where nitrogen will be formed, will be readjusted as the ammonium and ammonia and ammonium ion. So this process where it converts free nitrogen in air into ammonium, which will then absorbed by plant. So it involves the nitrogen fixation bacteria like nostoc and Rhizobium sp, which normally found in the root nodules of leguminous plant. Okay, so where it converts the nitrogen in the air to ammonia and eventually into ammonium compound. Okay, then next, nitrification process. So in nitrification process, the ammonia and ammonium compound convert into nitrite by Nitrosomonas species and then into nitrate by the Nitrobacter species. Okay. Then finally, this is a nitrification process where it convert the nitrogen. Nitrification process is where the process will create nitrate. Okay, will create nitrate. So from there, they undergo denitrification, where the nitrate will be converted into nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, oxygen gas by the nitrifying bacteria. By nitrifying bacteria like Theobacillus denitrification. So, and then return back to the atmosphere. Okay, and also there's another way through the decay and putrefaction, where the protein, okay, will be broken down by the saprophytic bacteria and fungi into ammonium compound. Okay, so these are the processes involved. Normally, they will from nitrogen become ammonia or ammonium compound. From there, undergo nitrifying process, become nitrate. From nitrate, undergo the denitrification process back to atmosphere. Can I? Okay, so how Văn Hồng, okay, 理解? Okay. Okay, now let's see the roles of the microorganism. Okay. So since the microorganisms actually are divided into several kingdoms, they actually microorganisms occupy almost 3 to 4 kingdoms out of 6 kingdoms in our biosphere. Okay, right? So because they have the other 2 is only what I call the plantae and animalia, right? So the others all are mostly microorganisms. So what they do, what are their functions? Why they are important? First thing first, they provide the nutrient to primary consumer, which is the herbivore. Okay, and they are the main energy source in food chain. Okay, like cyanobacteria and phytoplankton, which is your algae. Okay. Secondly, as the decomposer. Okay, like saprophytic bacteria and fungi, where they decompose that organism. Okay, with this, it can reduce the pollution by prevent the accumulation of the organic waste remains, and then return the nutrient to the soil as well. Okay, then as a symbiont. Symbiont is like they will live together with a host. Okay, so like your protozoa, the Trichonympha species, Bifidobacterium species, Lactobacillus, and also Escherichia coli species. So what happens is this Trichonympha species normally in alimentary canal of termite, which secretes the cellulase. That's why termite can eat wood. Okay, because they can digest the cellulose. Okay, where it can digest the cellulose into glucose. And human colon, we have a symbiote material that synthesis vitamin B12 and vitamin K, because somehow we cannot generate these two vitamins by ourselves. Okay, and then as when we have symbiote, so we also have parasite. Parasite and symbiote almost similar. It's just that symbiote is benefit for both sides, but the parasite is one benefit, one rugi. Okay, so like some of the bacteria and fungi. Okay, so they are as predator to form a balanced food chain, and sometimes also act as a prey for other consumer. Okay, means that predator is normally towards those those which aggressive parasite, where they will, after you get jankitan, you will get die easily. There are some parasite that can kill you easily one. There are some of them are prey, means that how to say, where there are some bacteria who can eat this as well. So that's why in this process there's one prey and one predator. It can be both. Okay. So now let's see the definition of pathogen and vector. Pathogen are the source of sickness. Vector are those who can transport or who can spread the diseases. You understand? Huh? So pathogen are the microorganisms that cause the diseases, like I said. Okay, this one cause diseases like bacteria, virus, protozoa, and fungi. Vector are those carry pathogen from an infected individual to another, like your mosquitoes, flies, cockroaches, the infected wild animal, something like that. So you can also consider it as a pathogen carrier. Okay, so let's see the effects of those pathogens towards your human health. For example, HPV, human papilloma virus. Okay, so they're actually the sexually transmitted disease. Okay, it can cause cervix cancer and other cancer as well. So normally, the symptom will be there are warts on hand, leg, face, and genital organs. Okay, and there's irregular blood spotting after the period. Okay, and this one, the infection is through sex or skin to skin contact. Okay, normally you will see a very big red dot, something like that, like inflammation, the bitit merah also.
This cancer.
卵巢癌. Okay. So for the symptom also, sometimes they have prolonged and more menstruation than normal. Means that during the menstruation, the blood that released is more. Okay, and then the menopausal bleeding as well, and increased vagina discharge. Okay, because they are trying to release some gel to protect the infection. Okay, now bacteria, okay, normally will cause food poisoning. So the symptom will like normal, vomit, diarrhea, fever, abdominal cramp, and headache. Sakit perut is called abdominal cramp. Okay, not stomach ache. Okay, actually, well, in Malaysia it's the same, but actually, so-called scientifically, we call abdominal cramps. Okay, so normally it's through the contaminated food. For protozoa, okay, normally like Plasmodium species, it will cause malaria. Malaria just means, you know what's malaria? Like you will get fever, you will get what I call that. The symptoms of malaria is like a very high fever until you like shaking, not shaking it, we call shiver. And then your skin looks when you look very weak, your skin looks a bit yellow, right? That's the symptom. Okay. So here so shiver and followed by the fever and headache, and the skin become yellowish, and anemia. Anemia means that your blood not enough. Okay. So normally it's bitten by this is due to bitten by the female mosquito of Anopheles. Nowadays, a bit, how to say, it's no longer a very dangerous, what you call, dangerous disease, because now I say you cannot, something.
There is a sign that they label amaran gantikan demi banyak di vaksin.
This one, here, just now.
Here, this one.
I think the back there, right? Back there, because these two areas, although we just how to say, divided by the road, we are actually the black spot somehow. When the dengue is here, lots of people here, because why? Due to the lockdown. Don't worry, so far I haven't get here, so far, but please don't. I don't want to get, and you guys need to be careful, because you are form 5 now, so you're gonna have your exam on November, is it? Nowadays we expect to normal already. Your semester has already cut down for quite some months. Around 2 months, I think they cut away, straight away cut like a boss. And then now you have to protect yourself. Okay. Now then for fungi, we have Pinea species like your ringworm. Normally ringworm is like, okay, you're gonna have like a very red dot, or your skin becomes scaly. Scaly means a very rough. Like when you are very itchy, you try to scratch it, there are scars come out. The one we call fungi, xian. In Chinese we call xian. So there are some like erythematous patch was slightly scaly and small erythematous papules present at the periphery. Okay, means that they are easy. Your skin become very rough, red color, and some black dot at the side normally. And the patch means that the whole black, big size, the one that I see it becomes scaly one, okay, will be enlarged and with the presence of the center curling. So it will appear ring-like or annular. Normally it's through the skin to skin contact. Okay, so if you want to see how it looks like, I can show you as well. So like what we showed you. Like this. Dot at the side, can you see? And it becomes scaly, your skin. Your skin looks very rough. If you just like scratch it, then you will have lots of scars on your hand. That one normally is ringworm. Normally happen on your hand, sometimes on the side of your head. Okay.
So, what is the cause of
Tinea species, ringworm. Oh, you mean the cause of this one? This one is actually the name of the species. The bacteria. Normally, where you get it, then it's very hard to say. Normally, somehow 30 places confirm have. Okay. So let's see the types. Like for bacteria, the one that cause the disease like cholera, okay, like food poisoning. Then cholera, the vector is due to the housefly, while the food poisoning also due to the housefly as well. Protozoa will cause malaria, and malaria is due to the female mosquito of Anopheles species. While viruses, normally first, it will cause dengue fever. Normally the fever type, all the fever type, normally are due to virus. And this one are caused by the Aedes fever, dengue fever caused by the female mosquito Aedes. And also for bacteria, it will cause typhoid. Typhoid normally comes from the housefly. Typhoid are actually, I would say, it's a kind of fever. Okay, yeah, it's a kind of fever. Okay, where after the infection, you might there is a chance to die. You will get fever. Okay, but it starts slow, but it will cause like several days. Okay, and it will become higher and higher and higher until sometimes you will get high fever as well, hot fever as well, until 40 degrees Celsius. And then you will get at the same time, you are getting fever, you chill. Okay, and headache as well. I think headache. Sometimes your body feel weak, and I think stomach ache as well. Okay, stomach pain, so which will cause your diarrhea or sometimes constipation and rash as well. Rash means that when you are getting body too hot, there's a bintik merah. If you go to Chinese medicine place, they say you need to drink that herbal tea. Okay, 热毒我们叫 rash. Is the red dot due to when you get your inner body get too hot? I don't know how I don't know in Chinese we are quite familiar， 就是讲你热气啦，发热气。But in your Malay in Indian you guys got this kind of thing. Like when you eat too much chili or hot stuff, spicy stuff, your body might get too warm. No, you guys don't have this kind of old.
They always eating spicy.
Oh yeah, I forget. Yeah, correct. So let's continue. Or no more continue. Finish. All right. So let's see the what you call the assignment. No, what you trying to say is what you call it. The exercises. This one is chapter how much already? The hell. I always keep forgetting. This one is chapter how much? No, this one is chapter what? Chapter 8. Yeah, chapter 7 or chapter 8? Or chapter 8. Okay, because we just finish the economist thing, right? I think this is the wait. I think this. Okay, try to do this. Yeah, try to do this. What? 营养养分 nutrient。 嗯，什么东西？symbiont，symbiont 就是共生的这两个住在一起的，两个这样两个放在一起的。 Yes，有方粒，它们的结构上不同。方粒它有一点像树样，还有盘根系的那种，然后 bacteria 它多数是就是正常的那种 microorganism 而已。方粒它多数是好像盘根型的，还有neucore啊那一些。啊，哎，哪里没有啊？哪里？文红是好好的，可知道。哎，文红好。知道了，知道。Okay. All right. So let's see the answer. Why are the viruses not classified into one of the six kingdoms? Because when outside a living host cell, so the virus only exists as a crystal and even not even considered a living thing because it does not carry out any life processes. So now why the parasite does not kill their host? Because if the host die, they won't get any, the parasite will no longer obtain any benefits from the host. So normally they will only make the host weak but won't kill the host. Okay, what's the meaning of symbiont? Okay, so explain the types of the symbiont. So symbiont is an organism where it has a close relationship with another organism, where we normally call it as a host. And there are two types of symbiont, ectosymbionts and endosymbionts. Ectosymbiont is they live on outside of the host cell. Endosymbiont are the organisms that live inside the host cell. Okay. Now, state the meaning of pathogen and give some examples. So pathogen are the microorganisms that spread the disease. So let's see the example. 你写成 commercialism 它的 types 这个是它的interaction type 是好的。你写的这一个the one that you write means that the commercialism, mutualism, and parasitism are actually their interaction type. But the types of the symbiont only two: live inside the cell or live outside the cell, live outside the host. Okay, this one is the interaction type. Yeah, can understand? Yeah. Uh, okay. All right. Then try. Okay. Wait, 我想要这里做看一题 question maybe question 5这两个不用 only do question 5 first。哎，no. This one is actually the nitro vector one. Sorry. Sorry. You should do question 7 and question 8. Okay. The one nitrogen cycle one, we just doesn't need to do it. The one is pretty easy. Your school now until where? 9. Okay. Mm.
是什么？
啊？
一起体验。
特麦上，特麦是那个白蚁。 Done, let me know. Done, vẫn không sao rồi, phải đó. All right, so let's see the answer. So suggest one way, okay, to produce a chemical poison that can be used to kill the termite without harming other beneficial insects. So we know that termite live in the symbiosis with a type of protozoa we call Trichonympha species. And they live in the intestines of termite and secretes the cellulase enzyme to digest the wood, which is cellulose, and then absorbed by termite. So they cannot produce cellulase enzyme. So the best way is to exterminate the protozoa. So if the protozoa die, then the termite will die because they cannot obtain any nutrients from the wood they eat. Okay? Correct?
To exterminate the protozoa.
They didn't mention. They didn't mention here. Your textbook doesn't mention. If you want to say about that, there is a poison. I forget the name already. There's a. I think there's several poisons. Which is the most of them are insecticide. If you don't use that one, maybe you have to use the ligand-like peptide. Is it? I forget the name already. Yeah, ligand-lytic peptides. It's a kind of protein that they abstract out. If you ask me the what you call the structure, I don't know. Okay, so next. So read this statement. So all organisms depends on one another, okay, for your species survival. So when a species become extinct, so other species will also affected by the loss. So the species extinction will leave back consequences on human life. So based on the statement, discuss the steps that can be taken to preserve and conserve the biodiversity in Malaysia. So what we can do is replant the tree that can be cut down, reduce the deforestation, gazette more forest area as a reserve. Okay, then we have to consider the ecosystem when we plan the development activities, ensure the damage to the environment is minimized when we plan on the infrastructure, and also use law to penalize the it's called penalize or penalize. I think it's penalize, is it? Should be called penalize. Penalty, right? So should be penalize or oh no, it's called penalize. Okay, those that involve in illegal logging, deforestation, or illegal poaching. Okay? 啊？维持生物链，他要的是你的那个举动嘛，所以你一定要讲要怎样做就比较好一点。Okay, correct. 有谁有不同答案的吗？文宏、世豪 ，Is there any other answer？ 有吗？文宏、世豪？
Planning and campaign preserving and controlling biodiversity.
Campaign can. OK 啊。All right, so let's continue with next chapter. So which is chapter 9. Ecosystem. Now let's see some definition from some definition of term. Okay, this one's pretty much. For first one, a species. Okay, species. Okay, species. So species are a group of similar organisms which can interbreed to produce a fertile offspring. Fertile offspring means that healthy offspring. Okay. Then for population B, is a group of organisms with same species lives in the same habitat at the same time. Okay. Community. Okay. There are all the population of different species that lives in a habitat and interact within each other. The habitat. Habitat are the living place of organism. Niche is the roles or interaction of a species with other components in the habitat. Okay, their roles are. F, ecosystem. Ecosystem are actually the several communities in a habitat interact to each other, include the non-living components. Okay. Biotic component. Now they go through one on one. Biotic component. Okay, is all the organism inside an ecosystem. And then a biotic component. Abiotic component are the environment factor, like the one that can affect the organism in an ecosystem. Okay, like weather, all this, pH value. Okay, parasitism is a kind of interaction. Okay, so let's see the interaction. So it's the organism which obtain nutrient from other hosts. Okay, it's a kind of interaction. Commensalism is an organism that benefits from other, but it does not harm the organism. So it can either, normally commensalism is one gain, one don't gain, don't lose. Okay? And then mutualism is both organisms that obtain the benefit in the interaction. Saprophytism, okay? They are the organisms which obtain the nutrient from organic substances, like they decay the what you call. They will help in decaying the carcasses. Okay, competition. Competition is actually is an organism that competes with another organism for the same niche. Means that they have the same role, so they compete with each other for the resources. Okay, predation. Predation are actually an organism that hunts and eat other organisms. So one is predator, one is prey. Okay. So these are the what I call the words that you need to understand. Okay. So let's see the biotic and abiotic component. Biotic component are those organisms we have bacteria, algae, fungi, fish, worms, plants, birds, and human. This one easy. Abiotic is the one that you need to remember. Water, soil pH, air, water pH, your temperature, surrounding temperature, your concentration of mineral salt, your humidity of air, and also the intensity of light. Okay, these are the abiotic components that will affect the the ecosystem. Now let's see the types of nutrition. Okay, so the types of nutrition practices by them we can divide into autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic, automatic. So it's the producer mostly. So autotrophic normally are known as the autotroph. Known as autotroph. Okay. So they produce glucose by themselves. They can produce glucose from inorganic substance like carbon dioxide, water, and hydrogen sulfide. Sometimes using light energy or chemical energy. Okay, doesn't necessarily is light. Okay, like mushroom. Okay, they are producer as well, but they get their what you call, they get their nutrients from chemical energy due to the what you call, due to the decayification. Okay, decay. And heterotroph, that does not produce glucose. So they are required to consume other organisms. So most of the organisms are categorized as this one, unless besides by plant. Okay? Yes. 猪笼草对，它对，猪笼草叫什么来吧 ？We call it as I forget already the one that can track the insect. No. I don't know I forget the name already, English name already, suddenly. 猪笼草 is, one is called the fly trapper, correct? The plant. One is a fly trap. Another one is called what? The peliot. We call Malay called peliot, but I forget the English name already. Okay, that one can be both because it actually can create its own food, but at the same time, it also gets some minerals or protein from the insect. Yes. Now, let's see the each of this one. So autotroph, like we said, it can undergo what you call, it can form through the sunlight and what you call by chemical energy, correct? So it can be divided into photoautotroph and chemoautotroph. Photoautotroph, they will have chlorophyll because to carry out photosynthesis. So they produce their own food from the carbon dioxide and water by using light energy, like green plant, algae, and photosynthetic bacteria, like your what you call paramecium. Okay. Now, for chemoautotroph, they do not contain chlorophyll, but they produce food from the carbon dioxide. Produce food by using energy generated from chemical reaction, like your nitrobacter species. Okay. Now, next, heterotroph. Heterotroph, there are three main types, I think. Yeah, three main types. We have we have a holozoid, we have a saprotroph, and parasite. Three types: holozoid, saprotroph, and parasite. Now, for holozoid, okay, they obtain and consume food into the body. So they will digest food with enzyme within the body and absorb the nutrient into the body, like human and almost all types of animal. Saprotroph, they obtain the what I call mushroom, I think is under saprotroph. So it obtain the animal from nutrients from organic substance or dead organism. Normally, they will digest the organic substance by secrete the enzyme out of the body and then absorb the nutrient, like bread mold and mushroom. Then parasite, they absorb the nutrient from the host, like your ticks and tickworms. Okay? You understand? All right, so yeah. I accidentally closed the textbook. All right, then now, so your biotic component, they obtain energy from food to carry out the living processes. So based on the types of nutrition, so the biotic component we can categorize into producer, consumer, and decomposer. Mostly the saprotroph. Okay, saprotroph are under decomposer. Consumer like all types are, and producer mostly are those autotroph. Okay, so let's see. So the biotic, this one, the biotic component in the tree group we can arrange into trophic level according the where we can accordingly to form a food chain. So normally, the higher level will be the predator to the lower level. Okay, so this one will be prey. Okay, so now let's see each of them. For this one, they make their own food. Okay, this one, okay, produce own food. And they are called autotroph. Okay, then second level, second trophic level, first trophic level, second trophic level, normally heterotroph, and normally they are herbivore because they eat plant. Okay, but sometimes it can be omnivore as well, like mouse. The small size omnivore can be categorized in second trophic level as well. Okay. Then for the next one, third level, third trophic level, normally are heterotroph and they are carnivore. Okay, they are carnivore. Then of course, your next one also for the fourth trophic level, they are also considered as heterotroph and carnivore as well. Okay, so mostly first trophic level we call producer, second trophic level primary consumer, second then followed by secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. Okay, so 有，通常我们 normally we use 4 level only. Why? Because under 4 level, which is your tertiary consumer, they are mostly the fiercest, the most fierce predator already. Of course, you have to go for the penta one. Okay, means that your fourth quadary and then pentary, blah blah blah. Of course, they have, but most of the case, a food chain normally only consists 4 level only. Most of it. So that's why I think even when Form 6 you learn also only until 4 station. There are seldom there is a case that we're on 5th. Like for example, like bird eaten by snake, snake eaten by eagle, then it becomes 5th. But somehow the number 4, the 4th trophic level and 5th trophic level normally they are comes with the same role. Means that they are the most fierce predator in the chain.
So they ask even the 4th level snake and 5 level is eagle.
Yes.
So they mentioned what is the level of eagle need to write 5.
No, 4. Normally the questions until 4 only. They won't let you confuse, don't worry. Okay? Your school teach until 4th level, then 4th level. Never go 5. Okay, because science normally we choose the mostly happen case. Okay. So, wait. That was last time I teach in Malay. Okay, now. So, now somehow in a food chain, okay, the energy of the food chain, in food chain, the energy of a tropic level, they flow to the next tropic level when the organism is consumed. So the flow of energy, okay, starts from the light energy used by the producer for photosynthesis. Generally, only 10% flow from one tropic level to the next tropic level. So the energy flow per level only 10 only. Means that after I generate, okay, the plant, let's say the plant generate the energy, okay, absorb sunlight, generate. So then let's say the belalang, your grasshopper eat the leaves, so only 10% will be carried out. Why? Another 90% has been used up by the plant itself for the daily activities. So only 10%. Then from 10%, then the belalang eat up by the frog. So now only left 1% because 10% from this 10, now only left 1. Then from the third level to fourth level, it becomes only 0.1%. From 1%, 1 times 10%, only 0.1%, like that. So each level, it will reduce off 90% from the initial. Okay, so the initial 90% of energy loss is due to in terms of heat energy, okay, undigestible part and also excretion. So the flow of energy to higher tropic level become less. That's why fifth tropic level normally is the highest. Like I show you just what I mentioned to you. Normally it can go up to fifth tropic level, but your school won't come out with a question like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Normally won't until 4. But if they indeed 5, let's say, then you have to come out at 5th. Of course, okay? Can I? Now, in an ecosystem, so several food chain will interrelate to form a food web. Okay, 15. So now, yes, it's different. Several food chain combined become food web. Okay, so now we have a okay, so let's try something. You see, this diagram shows you. Oh, sorry. This diagram shows you the what you call the biotic component involved in your what you call in your ecosystem. So use this to form a food web. Okay, try to do this in food web. OK， OK， 可以理解。文宏是把它做成食物网哦。 OK，我看看，你这么画的，你这么写的才对吧？你这样子画，OK，OK，OK good。4号 maybe 有你拍的照片先给我看看哦，像个屁！你那个小鸟那种还可以啦，那个老鹰，你老鹰的嘴巴不太对噻，你那个是会飞呀，感觉。那这写不更快啊？还要特地去画，你是真的是美国的老鹰。哎呀，我看一下啊，4号的啊，so let's see a sparrow，OK，yes, then explain. Okay, sometimes an eagle, frog, caterpillar, sparrow. Okay, okay, good. Okay, those who have done, you're allowed to dismiss. Huh? Okay, I think I'll stop here.
So
Yes,
that's very
normally won't, but yes. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you.
拜拜拜拜。
拜拜。